Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, still fighting through this flu, but I couldn't not bring you a video on this. I've talked about this on my podcast, the Guitar Souls podcast, with my good buddy Mike, so it would be worth checking that out. If you listen to a lot of podcasts, you can hear two guys raging about things that are happening on the guitar and metal scene. So yeah, if you're a podcast fan, check that one out. But yeah, I couldn't not talk about this. So the HAARP machine, the I guess London-based band formed by Al Moomin, the guitar player. There has been a lot of controversy around Al Moomin in his very short, insignificant career, mainly due to accusations of faking his compositions or faking his ability to play his compositions, falling out with band members, accusations of threats to burn people's houses down. It doesn't seem like the nicest guy, and yeah, I think the fan base kind of know this. So when they launched a crowdfund for a second album asking for £33,000 to make an album, that's a lot of money in 2019 at least, especially when in the campaign video it was highly hinted, based on all the clips that they played, that the album was already bloody recorded. So what was the money for? I mean, I'll go into that in a second. So, yeah, I've been following this one with much intrigue, watching how it doesn't seem that anyone seems to be interested in giving Al any of their money. Well, a small portion of people have. So at this stage, the campaign ends in 6 hours, and they have raised £2,681. That's not even 10% of the goal. So that's really embarrassing, and consider this a humble brag if you like, but Al, I raised more than that for my debut album, and I'm a fucking nobody. You must have some really bad will with people if you can't even raise, $5,000 to release an album, a second album, when your first album was so well received among your fans. Like I say, that's embarrassing. So why is this interesting? Well, in checking the page out, in wanting to see where things had landed, I noticed that the page looks different to how it did a month ago. Looking through it, there's nothing here anymore. There's a title, T. There's a subtitle, H. Under story, it's all gone. We've just got I. Under the FAQ, will there be physical copies available? I. Under updates, all gone. Nothing there. Couple of comments. Someone asked about the guitar perk, that it's not showing up anymore and they'd like to get it. And Al said, hey mate, give it a go now. Oh, look, nice of him. He's added that one. So this person still could give him £50. So Fernando de Valle, I'm sorry, mate. Hate to disappoint you, but yeah, disappointed you're going to be. And yeah, actually, there's a few people in the last day. This campaign has raised £151. Coney, anonymous, and anonymous. I don't think you're going to get what you want. Now, yeah, this is embarrassing for a couple of reasons. Aside from not reaching a goal. It's more the people that have contributed to this. You see, guys, this is flexible funding. This is a flexible goal, meaning the campaign will receive all funds raised, even if it does not reach its goal. So after this, Al Moomin, in 6 hours, is still going to get almost £3,000 out of this. Now, if he needed £33,000 in order to put the album out, and he's only got £3,000, not even 10% of what he needs to do the thing that he wanted to do, it would be fair to say that he won't be able to do the thing that he wanted to do. And if he does manage to do the thing that he wanted to do, then he didn't need that money, and it was dishonest of him to ask for it, certainly to imply that it was needed. Also worth pointing out that the campaign video, I found it here, is now gone as well when you try and find that. That video, yeah, he's just deleted that. Let's pretend this didn't happen, right, Al? But yeah, guys, let's not pretend that that money is being used for something useful. He's pocketed that. That is his money now. And people like Al give crowdfunding a terrible, terrible name. I crowdfunded my first album because I needed to do that. And still, my YouTube channel is supported by Patreon. So there is a degree of crowdfunding to that. It's a form of crowdfunding. It is my audience funding the channel. So some people might call that e-begging. I'm all right with that. It works. Like, I make content that people enjoy, they support the channel. And it's the same with when I made my first album. There was no way I could afford to do an album of the quality that I wanted to put an album out on the money that I had, because I didn't have any money. at all. My recordings were terrible. I needed to hire a recording engineer and a producer, somebody that would be able to mix and all the mastering and the manufacturing. And even then, I didn't need £33,000, and I got, you know, incredible people involved in the creation of my album, and it sounded good. So there are people out there that genuinely need crowdfunding, and they're good people for crowdfunding because they have an audience or a small audience, and people want to support them and bring their creations to life. But scumbags like this, these are the people that ruin crowdfunding for everyone else. Because much like in the gaming scene, where companies like, and I'm talking tabletop gaming right now, but companies like, I forget the name of the company, but there was a company that made a Terminator board game, and when the crowdfund finished and they made like 5 times their target, you know, that game never came out and people never got any of their money back. People like that give crowdfunding a really bad name. People like that are the reason that when crowdfunds happen, people are kind of skeptical about getting involved. You're ruining it for everyone, you piece of shit. Why do this? So my challenge to Al is release this album. I'm very much under the impression that the album is recorded and finished. And here's my speculation. This is only my opinion. The reason he needed £33,000 is because he still has a contract with Sumerian Records. The reason he needed £33 is because he needs to buy his way out of his contract to release this album. And as he hasn't raised the money to do that, he's not going to be able to buy his way out of said contract. He won't be able to release this album. That's purely speculation, but it's based on some of the comments that he made in the video. In the crowdfund video, he said, "We're looking to buy our freedom." So that's what that screams to me. So yeah, very sorry for anyone that was involved in this. Very, very sorry to anyone that was stupid enough to put money towards something like this. It's sad because when you listen to the first HAARP Machine album, you know, the compositions are fine. Many people would argue that they're great. I'm not going to say that Al can't write music. He definitely has a vision of music, and, you know, I respect that. But you can be a talented musician and also a piece of shit. And it seems that we now have that sandwich of someone who's very, very talented and also extremely unlikable. Many people would say I'm the same, right? Extremely unlikable, having everything in the world blow up in his face. Al, it's over for you, buddy. You ain't going past this. You couldn't make a second album. There ain't going to be a third. You have lost the support of the people. And that is well deserved. So finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to these people over here. These are the supporters on Patreon, or at least some of the supporters on Patreon. You can support me as much for as little as $1 over there. So if you do want to allow me to keep doing this mad thing that I do, please consider checking us out. And if not, cool, that's fine. Just share my videos with your friends and yeah, tell people about them, because that's what it's all about, right? You can check me out on Patreon by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you'll find 2 more of my videos here and here, both of which I don't have a cold in or the flu, so I don't sound quite as gravelly. But maybe you like the gravelly, maybe that's sexy, who knows. Anyway guys, thank you so much for all of the support, and I will see you for another video soon. Laters.